Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your happy hosts, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate? It's been a long
Morning,
time.
morning. I am good. I am in Dubai and looks like no latency issues. I restarted my computer. I did some updates. I did what I could this weekend in order to bring you a less technologically frustrating stream. And Matt, how you been? You haven't been on the show in quite a while.
Well,
So
I
looking
I was
forward to
nervous,
your return.
nervous to do this show today because I'm completely out of whack. I haven't traded, barely looked at the market for what feels like a long time, but it's been probably 3 weeks. And look at this. I got the gloves right in front of me that did the
Nice.
damage.
Yeah, I was gonna say congratulations on the 60-second knockout. That was absolutely awesome. I was literally right there ringside, and then you and I went partying till like what 3 in the morning, and then I went to the airport.
I was so proud to have you with me, mate. What a moment! What a moment in old Matt's life to be there in karate combat, knocking some prick out with Tone in the corner, right in the side of the pit. It was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen the fight, where you been? It was a classic. It was an absolute classic. So it was a really proud moment. I can't wait to get back. I feel like I did a post last night on Instagram. I've got this like weird adrenaline dump happening, after like this last few days because it's just so high, so amazing to do this fight. You can't, if you've never been in that situation, you can't imagine what it's like to walk onto the stage with thousands of people screaming, and then everything that happened afterwards. Like my fight got retweeted, or not tweeted, like they posted on UFC Fight Pass on a Instagram page called Knockout, which is all the biggest knockouts in the world. Karate Combat, obviously, like combined, it's had like millions of views. It's just such a high. And so now I got to come back to reality and get back to real life. And speaking of which, let's go into the charts, Tone. Oh, I got to share my screen here. 1 second. Yeah, there's nothing else to do except go back to work. And so here we are. Um, Tone, I forgot how to do this. I got to turn my screen's on. Yep, cool, awesome.
Yeah, you're good.
Let's crack on. All right. Look, we're going to start. I'm going to start at the monthly time frame because it's been a long time and we are in a new month right now. I hope you guys have missed me. Here we go. Look, look. I'm I'm concerned about Bitcoin, as everybody who's watching is concerned about Bitcoin. Last month was a shocker. This month it had a rally, obviously up to 95, but it's faded fast, and we're below the 7 simple moving average. The monthly is not showing me anything to get excited about as it stands right now. I I don't have any lower targets on the monthly because God forbid we come back down to retouch on the 30 at $50,000 or something like that, the 30 simple moving average. But as it stands right now, like I don't have anything to go off on the monthly except for I'm not bullish. I'm not bullish on the monthly. The weekly is where it starts to get a lot more interesting. Um, this is a terrible uh, fault on these candles here, which you can see. Like that's not correct at all. Like it should start up here, and this should start down here. But either way, um, this is bad. To close the month below the 30 simple moving average is bad. And obviously, on this candle here 3 weeks ago, we flipped that wave red again. Now, we did flip it red back here, but I'm going to change this code because the reason this should just stay green consistently is, and this will be in the new update that's coming soon now that I'm back in the office, is that we did come down on this candle right here on the sort of mid January. We broke the Lucid SAR, but then the price skyrocketed. We did it on like a Monday, and by Friday, or by sorry, the next when the actual candle closed, we had recovered. So I don't want that to change red. So I'm going to amend that code so that will continue green all the way through. Where this is a different story. We broke the Lucid SAR, and then we have actually come down and closed beneath it. So this is a genuine red wave that we're seeing right now. And even just now being below the 30 simple moving average, it's not good. This is something here on the Copic curve, which back here when we started to point down in the middle of January, it seemed like a million miles away that we would actually come back down and cross below the zero mark on the Copic curve. But it doesn't, it looks like an inevitability almost at this point. Now, I want to show you what that can mean, let's go back in time to we'll just do it from here, 2019. Crossing below the zero line doesn't is kind of a good sign, really, because it means like the bulk of the downside move has probably happened, and it normally means we've got more time, whether that's a few weeks or months or whatever. There's no time limit on it, to be below that line before finally regaining momentum and coming back up. So I don't mind when we come back and cross below the zero line. It means I'm not bullish. There's no doubt about that. And it has the possibility to stay below the zero line for, as you can see right here, for months and months on end, 6 months if it wants to. But it gives us another opportunity to buy on the upside, as you can see here, as you can see here, as you can see here, here. And those moves are so substantial. And in fact, that's what the purple phantom signal is on Alpha Numerics. And if we can just quickly have a glance at that, coming back above that zero line is really what we're looking for, as you can see right here, which we were famously bullish on. Prior to that, the purple signal was back here in the January 2023. There was another one here, sorry, but you can see what the response is, coming back above the zero line to the positive side on that Copic curve, as opposed to coming to the downside of it, which is it is looking like it's going to happen right now. So that's okay. I don't mind it. It just means I'm really not in a no trade zone. However, that's when the next thing comes into play for me. When that goes below zero, when we're in the sort of the posture that we're in right now, I actually get really, really excited. I'm not looking for swing short-term day trades anymore. That's on the daily time frame. That's all out. I haven't traded for 3 weeks. Not looking for any short-term scalp trades, anything like that. What I am, in fact, looking for is, and we'll talk about this in a lot more as time goes on, we are looking for the famous weekly green diamond, which we had back here way back in 2022. This was a week or two before the financial summit in Bali when I first met Tone in person. That was the last time we had that weekly green diamond. Prior to that, as you all know, if you've been watching for a long time, this is where I first bought Bitcoin heavily bought Bitcoin back in 2018 at 3,100. I went nuts into Bitcoin. I still hold those positions today. But they only happen very, very, very seldomly happen. But they are just the buy you do not want to miss. Back here in 2015, that is actually a possibility right now. I mean, we're still a long way off. It could take a long time. It's time based as well as price based. But if you see a weekly green diamond on Alpha Numerics, that's a generational buy. So I'm kind of rooting, now that everything's looking bad. My mindset changes. Well, we're bearish, but I'm still paying attention, because you got an opportunity to load up at whatever price that may be. If we were lucky enough to get a weekly green diamond, I would see that as the flush out before possibly like 4 more years of upside, which is what seems to happen. They come in like once every 4 years. So I'm all ears for that. Don't mind that at all. Now, finally, on the weekly time frame, plenty to talk about. We're looking at the EXA, Socrates' EXA. Weeks ago, we were talking about the bearish cross that it had. Look, we are all the way down at -3 right now. It does not get to -3 very often. And it can have, this is kind of reminiscent right now of what it looks like. We are looking for a bullish cross at the lowest point we can possibly get it. And if this keeps tearing down, we could get the mother of all EXA crosses here. So I'm really, really, really excited about that. So in a nutshell, I'll summarize it at the end. But in a nutshell, the smaller time frames, I'm not even going to go into them. I'm coming off screen share right now because today's episode is more of a broad macro view, and I've probably gone on long enough. I'll turn my chart off. I just want to reiterate the fact. Yes, I'm not bullish. I'm not looking for day trades right now. I'm not looking for even swing trades right now, but I'm acutely looking for those fantastic once in a year, once in every 4 year generational buys, which it is a very high possibility that that might come in. So that's what I'm looking for, Tone. I'll go in later in the week. I'll go more into the lower time frames, but the broader view is what I wanted to do after missing 3 weeks. Please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends. Use the affiliate links in the description below. And actually, just before I hand it over to you, Tone, over on Black Box, we've had a massive upgrade to the website. Brand new user interface, brand new bots have now been released. All the same functions, all the links in the description below, the same Discord community, everything. But we've spent 6 months developing this. It's absolutely fantastic. So you absolutely, definitely should go and check that out. With these new bots, look really great as well. Then we've gotten rid of the short-term time frame swing type of bots. All the bots now are no scalp bots. We got rid of the scalp bots. All the bots now are swing position trade bots. So much more akin to what I do as a trader and what Tone does as well. All right, take us away, my friends.
All right, let's go to my screen share now, and I'm gonna start off on a monthly chart as well. I haven't done a show in like 4 or 5 days either. So the monthly chart is not looking ideal right here. We are flipping the MRI count. Now the month is still has some time to go. We saw how fast Bitcoin can move. I'll talk about that in a minute. In order for us to maintain a bullish MRI count, we need to close this month above $96,000. How likely is it that we close the month above $96,000? Well, looking at today's candle on all time frames, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. It's we have a very concerning situation as I speak. So, but that's what we need on a monthly scale. As long as it's a red one, we're in a no trade zone. Everything kind of looked bad as of last month's close. Weekly chart, last week's candle on my charts is an accurate candle. It closed near the bottom. It did not break the swing low, but it created a massive new low close. That is a very, very bearish situation. The current candle is clearly a data error, unfortunate, but it'll correct itself soon. Looking at the weekly candles, we are in a red star. We're coming off a red star, and we're looking for an MRI buy. An MRI buy gets me on a weekly scale, gets me very bullish into the market, and that is my ultimate buy the dip while still looking at this as a bullish market. Someone asked, am I bearish yet? I'm short-term bearish, but I don't believe the cycle has stopped. I still think we're in a bullish cycle. What will make me reconsider the fact we're in a bullish cycle? Well, we will probably need to start trading in the mid-60s in order for me to consider this the end of a bull cycle, in which case the end of a bull cycle means that we're probably going to go down into the $40,000 zone. That would be very, very unfortunate and kind of weird because we have unreasonably strong support in the low 70s to upper 60s. Now let's go to the daily chart. The daily chart is what messes up a lot of the situation. We had this incredible rally on March 2nd that I was pretty convinced that this was going to be the low, and the low was going to be here to stay, the $78,000 low on February 28th. Now, this massive rally did take us into resistance. I drew these red arrows a long time ago. I drew these red arrows back in like 3-4 days before the big rally candle. But the way we moved into 95,000, made me pretty bullish and optimistic that we have a chance with this Trump event at the White House to rally us back to new highs. And the event was a complete and utter waste of time. I'm so glad I didn't watch it. Those that watched it were all complaining it was a waste of time. And it was an example of how government does economics. So the way and I remember I read about this back on Martin Armstrong's blog. I don't know, a decade ago, like even before Bitcoin existed, because Martin Armstrong used to come in for like some Senate hearings, and the government would ask advice from these experts, and then he said he stopped going to the government when the government would invite him, like whether it's the Senate, it's the House, it's the White House, it doesn't matter. They invite experts, and you think the experts are being invited to get their opinions. That's not how it works, and that's not what happened here. The government had already made up their mind on what they're going to do. And then they have this dog and pony show of inviting the experts and getting their opinions, even though they're not listening or couldn't care less what those opinions are. This is why the government was announced what they're going to do with the Shitcoin strategic reserve and the Bitcoin strategic reserve. They had already announced their plans before the event took place. And this is how most of the shit happens at the federal level. They already decide what they're doing, and then they're bringing in the experts later just to show the dumb public that, oh, we consulted all of these experts and this is what we've come up with. But they always come up with what they're going to do before the experts speak. And here's what they basically came up with. The United States will not sell the Bitcoin they've already stolen and confiscated from places like Silk Road and others. And the Treasury Department is going to look into budget neutral strategies of acquiring additional Bitcoins. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I mean, obviously, they're going to confiscate more Bitcoin, and this opens up the incentive for the government to confiscate more Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is unconfiscatable for those that know what they're doing. The problem is most people just don't know what they're doing. And maybe there'll be some kind of neutral strategies that they can come up with. Now, the difference between the Bitcoin strategic reserve and the Shitcoin strategic reserve is that the government will not buy the shitcoins for any reason, which probably one of the smartest things the government has said in a few decades. And they will only acquire these shitcoins through confiscating other people's property. Now, the smart thing to do is after acquiring this Bitcoin, to sell it for, after acquiring these shitcoins, is to sell it for Bitcoin. So that could be a neutral strategy that they're talking about. So the best budget neutral strategy for the Bitcoin strategic reserve is when you acquire a bunch of scam coins, you then sell them into Bitcoin. That is probably what they're going to be doing. Maybe they'll hold on to some of the scams from the people that were invited to the White House, like Ripple and Garlinghouse. Well, Ripple was there, Solana was there, Ethereum was there, Cardano was there. I think Richard Hart was there. I don't know. He could have been. He would fit right in with that crowd. Craig Wright, too. He might have been there, would fit right in. So maybe just out of respect, not respect, I don't know what to say, out of some promises, they may not sell the shitcoins with the leaders, with the CEO of the CEOs that were invited, but the other shitcoins they confiscate, they'll probably sell them into Bitcoin, and that is a neutral strategy that wouldn't cost the taxpayers any money. There's no reason for the government to hold stable coins. That makes no sense whatsoever. The stable coins are backed by US government bonds. So what's the point, right? But if the government happens to confiscate Tether, I don't see why they wouldn't sell it for Bitcoin, because that's, again, a budget neutral strategy. Someone is asking, Cardano was there. Yeah, Cardano, unfortunately, was there. Here is the list. Oh, Unconfiscatable Handle tweeted this out. In light of the attendance list at the White House, we're considering renaming the Scammy Awards to the White House Summit Awards. Here was the invite list. And yeah, Charles Hoskinson was there. And so was the guy who created Solana, and the guy who created Ethereum, and the CEO of Ethereum, the CEO of Solana. I mean, Changpeng Zhao went straight from prison to the White House for this meeting. And yeah, it was definitely an interesting get together. Bo Hines is the new SEC chairman who has personally created shitcoins, apparently, and helped Trump create his shitcoin. So the SEC chair is a full-blown degen shitcoiner who's created shitcoins in the past. So that should, let's just say the next 4 years is going to be one hell of a shit show. So what is happening is the shitcoins are driving this market down. Let's keep looking at the price of Bitcoin for a minute.
Just before you go any further on that daily chart there, when the price was sort of popping, and even on the second time, it like that the first one you mentioned where it rallied and then came back all the way back down again, and then rallied again back up to that red line. I I was looking at that as that's a bear pennant, and I had drawn just a line underneath the price, and it's like as soon as we crack through this, it's gone. And I would have shorted it if I was available and not traveling. But that started to look like a bear pennant for me. If you go back even further, didn't like it.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I'm being corrected. Apparently, Vitalik and Hoskinson were not there. So maybe this list is inaccurate. This was the list I was going by. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were there, and if Hoskinson was not Hoskinson, if Richard Hart was there and Craig Wright, and maybe they'll go find Big Vern and invite him. Ruja could have been there from OneCoin. I mean, this is showing you the understanding of the White House and the crypto space. So let's get back to this daily chart. This is as bearish. Sorry. This is as bearish of a daily chart as you can possibly have in any asset on any market. So what is my target? Well, I'll tell you where I am not buying Bitcoin. I am not buying Bitcoin in the area between 78,000 and the current price. This is my absolute no buying zone. Where am I buying Bitcoin? I would love to buy Bitcoin at 73,000 on a reversal candle with an MRI buy daily. Okay. I think this will happen before the weekly MRI buy. So if this stretches out for the next, week and a half, we're still going to be 3 weeks away from an MRI daily buy. And so even though I will probably look to do something on a daily MRI buy in the low 70s, I am still going to be a little bit nervous because the weekly chart can continue going down. So I really don't want to see a collapse in price to the low 70s, because the weekly MRI is saying we still have like 5 more weeks of downside. The charts just look really, really ugly. Really ugly. So
That's got like a Bart Simpson head written all over it right there, like down to 73, no doubt.
Yeah, no, everything just looks bad. The 4-hour chart broke its samurai count, so now we're starting a whole new one. That's extra bearish on the 4-hour chart. The 1-hour chart is a total disaster, breaking to new lows. We're still in the window of a 10 a.m. reversal, but that window is gonna end in about 3 minutes, so that's not good. The cycle is about to enter an area where Bitcoin tends to top, but it looks like it's about to find the bottom. So that's a weird look. Gold. This is the ultimate top for gold. I really wanted to see the daily chart get into a daily MRI top. It did not, but we had a weekly MRI top inside a monthly MRI top inside a yearly MRI top. So it's very possible that gold has topped. And if gold's topped, what does that mean for Bitcoin? We'll find out. And the S&P 500 had a disastrous open today.
Yeah.
That explains the big Bitcoin crash. Trump needs to really announce something before people start filing their taxes. And I know a lot of people already filed their taxes, but uh, if Trump is going to create all these tariffs, he has to find a way to lower the income taxes of the US citizens. And if Trump gets rid of the capital gains tax, for example, these markets can double in a matter of months. The S&P and Bitcoin as well. So the daily S&P chart is now on a red star candle following an MRI top, an MRI buy. That's very bearish, and the weekly S&P is a total disaster as well. Now, this blue moving average, which is probably the 50, has, let me double check. Yeah, that's the 50. So this blue moving average has reversed us in the past. It looks a little scarier right now, but yeah, we still have a chance. The S&P could reverse right here off the 50-period moving average. Now let's take a look at some of these shitcoins. So the shitcoins are absolutely collapsing, and they are driving some of this bear market as well. The Bitcoin dominance is rising while the price is crashing. Bitcoin dominance is hitting new swing highs, not intra week, but let me see the daily. Yeah, we just got a new daily closing swing high on Bitcoin dominance. And real quick on the shit coins, Trump coin is now at a new all-time low. You guys know what I think about that. His wife's coin is going to continue going to zero. Ethereum just made new swing lows, not intra-week, but on weekly close. So all these shit coins are just going down. Binance coin is still hanging in there. Solana is going to new lows as well, versus Bitcoin, of course. Cardano is still kind of pumping, but it'll get there soon enough. Litecoin's been in a little bit of a rally. It'll go down as well. And B-Trash somehow is rallying, but that's all again only a matter of time. So the shitcoins are definitely helping drive this market down. Uh, yeah,
Did you see XRP? Did we look at XRP? I'm just interested
no.
because that it's been frisky.
Uh, XRP has rallied.
Mm,
Well, again, right, because
yeah.
they are being invited to the White House for this stupidity, and they've performed well against Bitcoin over the last few months. But I don't know. This token is so useless. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, people are just
How about Doge? Is Doge doing anything? It's getting a lot of
no
news.
idea.
Me
What the
too.
hell is Doge?
There it is.
No, Doge is going down against Bitcoin. I mean, Elon
Well,
Elon pumped Doge over here. It was about to just die, and Elon brought it back to life, and it topped on an MRI top again a few months ago, and
it's coming back down to retouch the bottom of that
yeah, it
descending
also has
line. Look
an
at that.
MRI buy coming up
Extend
next
it.
week. So I don't know.
Extend that line a little further, and it'll probably be right
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
this one.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice trend line.
By Doge. Yeah.
And it's got an MRI buy next week. So I don't know. Maybe Elon will do something with Doge. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. That's it for me. Here's your Max Payne look. Looks absolutely disastrous for Max Payne as well. I'm just refreshing. Wow. We're trading at 45. Max Payne's 55. It's supposed to, rally
Maybe.
the market back up, but for now, it has not. All right. I'm good, man. Financial Summit is just 1 week away. Uh, we'll I can't. I can't do the show tomorrow. I got a bunch of afternoon plans, and I'm leaving this hotel room. I'm gonna stay at a friend's. I don't think I'll be able to do a show tomorrow, and the day after in the evening I fly to Maldives, so we'll play it by ear. I might be able to do uh, a show the next day, but tomorrow definitely not.
Righto. Let's close her out.
All right, a little longer show than usual, and we'll try to shorten them up for next time. Let me stop the screen share here, and Matt, close us out.
Yeah, thanks guys for joining. I've missed you. It's been at least 2 weeks since I've done a show, and it's been hard to get back into the routine, but I've really enjoyed being back. We're going to be sporadic over the next 2 weeks with the financial summit coming up, whether or not we'll be doing shows and whatnot, but we'll bring them to you when we can. On a personal note, thank you everybody for the support in my fight. I know I've already talked about it. I've talked it to death, but so many of you wished me good luck and congratulations afterwards, and it meant a lot to me. A lot of you guys came out personally and saw me. It was Gravy was there. He'll be watching, I'm sure. Thank you guys for that. All right, Bitcoin's in trouble, but there's always an opportunity when it dips. All
Oh,
right, have
shout
a good
out to
night.
Crystal as well.
Crystal,
Crystal and Matt. Thanks for hanging out with us
Crystal and Matt.
after. I know they watch. I know she watches every day. So yeah, definitely thanks for coming, hanging out with us, and showing us Denver.
My new best friend. I love you.
Later.